for three. Won't go. Rebound Bosch. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer.
How's it going, everybody? I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Crunch Time Podcast. And today we have our guest, Jacob Gilyard. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. How are you, bro?
It's been a minute. I ain't seen you since last summer. You've been gone for a while at school, taking care of business.
You know what I mean? Trying to, bro.
Yeah, for sure. How's testing life been so far with COVID? I know you guys gotta test every day, right?
So like I got it. Like our whole team got it. So then like you get like a 90-day kind of cool period where they don't test you just because like obviously you're gonna test positive because it's still in your system or whatever. But my 90 days is about to come up this weekend. So I'm about to be getting tested. I think it's like 3 times a week now. They shortened it, but it's no fun, bro. It's not fun at all.
Yeah, for sure. I had it last July, I think kind of like right after you'd went back to school, right when it was still early, and I had tested just to get back to work. I needed 2 tests. I tested 10 times, bro, and it was just terrible. I kept saying I was positive, and work said you needed 2 negatives to get back to work. So I'm out here testing once a week, trying to go get it. And they're like, they changed it one time to the mouth swab. And I was like, okay, maybe it'll be better. They went back and they're like, oh, we extended our Q-tip, and it was like that big. It was
bro, you don't get used to it. You don't get used to it. Like no matter how many times you get it, like bro, it's still uncomfortable with the same like the next time.
Yeah, it's like tickling your brain in a sense. It definitely gets you every time.
Bro, it's wild.
So yeah, so we'll kind of get started a little bit, kind of introduce you to the people that don't know you. So you're originally from Kansas City, Missouri. Shout out to Kansas City right here. And you attended Barstow High School. So and now you're currently at Richmond University in Virginia. So can you kind of explain in a sense what your recruiting process is like from Barstow and being in Kansas City?
Yeah, it was kind of, so like coming in the middle school, I was supposed to go to Blue Spring South, regular public high school. The coach at Barstow kind of had a little role in Run GMC. So I kind of knew about him. And so I'd say like they didn't give out athletic scholarships, but somehow I got a little scholarship or whatever. I'm pretty smart though. You know how that goes. Oh, yeah, but so I up there, and then obviously playing the Run GMC and getting to be on the Under Armour circuit definitely helped get colleges to look at me. And then I think I really wanted to go to Tulsa coming out of high school. Like it was like Tulsa, Missouri State, Richmond. Pretty much was like the three that I liked the most, and I really wanted to go to Tulsa. But on my visit to Richmond, my family just loved it. Like the campus itself is beautiful. It's always hard when your mom's in your ear about something, bro. She loved it. She was talking about it the whole time. So she was like, and then like we went to Missouri State the next weekend, and like she was just like, everything about Missouri State just wasn't better than Richmond to her. So it was just like, you know how the mom thing goes. So she loved it. My family loved it. And then, kind of just having the ability to play right away. I felt like it was somewhere that I felt like I could go and have an impact. I didn't realize I'd be playing as many minutes as I did, but definitely thought it was somewhere that I could go and play.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of parents, once they get that idea, once the mom loves something about you and would think it's best for her kid, she's in your ear about it all the time. That's how my mom is. She's always in my ear about something. And no, for sure, I don't think a lot of people understand, but you talk about the ability to play right away. I was looking it up just to get like my numbers. You averaging 37 minutes a game for your whole career at Richmond. And it said like in the average box on Basketball Reference that you are like 6th all time in NCAA minutes average, or like NCAA minutes is what it said on that stat. I don't know how accurate it was to it, but that is a lot of mileage on your legs, especially playing through Under Armour, high school, and then getting there. To piggyback off of that, so Richmond, you just technically are supposed to graduate this year, and then you just made the announcement last week that you're returning for a 5th year for a grad year. How much did returning to Richmond and entering for the draft, how much did it weigh each way?
I think kind of everything right now is just kind of still messed up because of COVID. I think at the end of the day, it wasn't just like a basketball decision. I know it's like easy to look at it and say it was, but I think overall, I feel like it's like I just tell people it's like a life decision. I think this extra year and being able to, get my master's here at the University of Richmond, I think is something that's going to help me, down the road. Obviously, like everybody says, the ball stops bouncing, which is cliche, but I think next year, I'll be able to make a lot more connections than I have like in the past 2 years. Just with the way things are set up and the people that you get to meet in graduate school, I think it's definitely going to help me out. So to me, it was a life decision. Obviously, basketball, um, it's a comfortability thing. As far as being in Richmond and playing basketball compared to grad transferring and playing somewhere else, loyalty is a big thing for me, and it's a system that I feel like I've done pretty well in. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it's very important for you to at least you have that focus for the after once the ball's done, because I think some guys their focus is once they focus on like they know they have a chance to make the league or play pro, like that's all they worry about. And then when they get done playing, they don't really know what they want to do next. So having that masters and getting that extra year underneath your belt to maybe help you decide maybe a little bit more about life after basketball is something. And for sure, I love the loyalty thing. You could have transferred and went to a bigger Power Five. A lot of schools probably would have been up your ear if you would have announced you were in the transfer portal. But I loved watching you guys play this year, so I definitely think it's a good return for you as well. So regarding the upcoming season, what are kind of your goals, personal and the team? Because obviously, you guys had a good chance down the road later in the conference schedule to make the NCAA tournament, ended up making the NIT instead, but still competed. We're close. I felt like could have been a last four team in. So, what are those team goals as far as next year?
My junior year, when like there was no tournament, it was like we felt like we were going to be in the tournament. So like that feeling to get like, it just taken away from you is one that's gonna stick with me for the rest of my life. If we don't ever get to go back, I feel like a team goal. I mean, personal goal. Everybody's goal is to get to March Madness. You know what I mean? Everybody sees what the smaller schools like. You see Abilene Christian this year. You see Oral Roberts. You know what I mean? You see Loyola Chicago. Schools like that. I mean, fuck. I mean, my bad. Excuse my language.
No,
We
you're
beat
good. You're
Loyola
good.
Chicago. You know what I mean? Like we beat Loyola Chicago this year. So it's like damn, like we feel like we can, you know what I mean? Like we felt like we could be playing, doing well in the tournament. So it's just, a couple of games that really just towards the end of the season really screwed us up. So as far as next year, I follow a couple of guys on Instagram from St. Bonaventure, and they won our conference tournament, and just seeing the joy after winning the conference tournament and the trophies and everything like that. Winning conference tournament next year, or just winning conference is going to be something that definitely we want to do as a team. Then to get to the tournament, obviously the NIT was really cool experience. Not a lot of teams get to play for a championship, and I felt like we were playing for a championship at one point.
Where did
So
they end up?
to get to
Where'd they end up
so
posting that this year? Where'd they end up posting that this year?
NIT,
Yeah.
we were at North Texas.
Oh, okay, so they did it down by the women because I knew the men's was obviously up in Indianapolis. Uh,
Yeah.
so so was it a decent experience? Did they? I mean, obviously there's a controversy, with the whole women's team compared to the men's March Madness. Was your guys' setup all right, or was it?
So we didn't see the girls while we were down there for the NIT. Like to me, like I was joking and telling people like, bro, we got the best experience. Like we weren't trapped in a bubble. Like we won our first game and then we got to fly back to Richmond for like a week. So like
Oh,
we
okay. So
weren't in
they
a
didn't have
bubble.
much restrictions on you guys. They didn't keep
Yeah,
you like
it
focused
was
in that.
pretty cool. Yeah, no. So I mean, we had to get tested when we got home and everything like that. But like we didn't have to stay confined in the area, and then like we didn't really lift there just because we don't lift the day of the game or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the practice facility was nice. North Texas is a cool campus. I like the arena. We were able to have our fans come down, like our family, which was dope. I liked it. I think it was really cool.
Yeah, no, that's good. So, in the sense of piggybacking again off of that, how do you think the NCAA needs to go with making sure the women get some kind of regards as equality towards men, because we always try to state women are equal with men in sports, but we know that there's still a line gap.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think, especially with the media these days, and you see like how bad it was, like the difference in the NCAA tournament and the weight rooms that they had and the food and the meals. Because I don't think it was great for the men either, which is obviously bad to say because it was way worse for the women. But I think the biggest problem with how they handled it was saying like that there wasn't enough space. You know what I mean? Like to me, it was just like they just didn't really care. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
didn't
so
put the
I
effort
feel
really
like
into it.
it's gonna be tough no matter how you break it down. Just because at the end of the day, the NCAA is a company. They're worried about money. So they're gonna do everything that they can to make the money. But I definitely think something needs to be changed for sure.
So do you think also with that the chance for pay to play will happen within the next couple of years? I know that was a topic that kind of fell down in the media lines after, it was really popular at the beginning of the season,
Mhm.
talking about when athletes are going to get paid regarding their state and,
Yeah.
and the NCAA overall. But do you see that in the future anytime soon?
So from what I heard like they had a meeting maybe not too long ago, and basically, states were saying like you guys are gonna have to pay him eventually. And I think you see a lot of guys like I think his name's Jordan Bohannon, from
Okay.
Iowa, talking about he's only way
Yeah.
he's coming back next year is if he gets paid, and how he's talking about the guy from the Rutgers, I think Geo Baker maybe. You see a lot
Yeah.
of these bigger name guys at these Power Five schools actually, starting to talk about it a lot, and kind of making it a thing. I think it'll definitely spread. At the end of the day, I think it's something that needs to happen. Whether or not it does happen will be tough, just because I mean, right now there's not really an alternative.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely see what you're saying is that there's not much other way you can compensate these guys, especially for example, you in Richmond, even though you're a lower, not a Power 5 school, you have the likeliness and the name and the responsibility and like the popularity around in your league and those other schools in the lower Division 1. So I feel like a lot of guys like you could technically profit off of having your name in those list and having your name being mentioned across all the different platforms and the way they compare you to other guys in other schools.
Right. I mean, I saw something the other day that was just like after Jalen Suggs like had hit the game winning three. They were like, if he was to go back to Gonzaga and went to McDonald's and the guy just like gave him a free cheeseburger, like they would strip the banner. You know what I mean? Like, I just there's so many things wrong with how the NCAA handles things right now. But I think it'll get fixed at some point.
Yeah, I believe so too. I think it's just a matter of time. I think with the way, like you said earlier, media is a big impact now. I think the more people talk about it, the more people mention it, it's going to force them to change their hand, and hopefully it's a change for good.
You know? Sure.
Um, yeah. So going again off of last season, you guys were competing. You said you played with some of the best teams. You had a chance to beat Kentucky, a blue blood school. I remember watching that game. I made sure I tuned into that while I was working. And I think that was a big statement for you guys last year in the sense that you can compete with a lot of schools at the Power 5 level, and especially in the NCAA tournament like Oral Roberts, Loyola, Chicago, and all those guys. Especially watching the way you played. I mean, people could say Kentucky just like had a bad year, but like they just didn't fit. They just didn't fit well with their guys, and you could tell that while watching.
Yeah, I mean they struggled this year, but I mean, anytime you get to go to Rep Arena is dope. You know what I mean? No matter how good or bad they are, to get to see Coach Cal in person, you know what I mean? To hear him like mad at the players because they're making mistakes. I mean, it was dope experience. You know what I mean?
Did
Super,
they,
super dope experience.
did they allow fans at that game, or was there not
Yeah,
in
so
Kentucky at that time?
like it's like a technically like a technically like it was like a tournament. So it was like
Oh, okay.
us, Morehead State, Kentucky, and then Detroit Mercy was supposed to play, but they got COVID like the day before, so they didn't come down. So like we played Morehead State, and it was like probably like 50 people total, bro. And then we played Kentucky 2 days later, and I was like, bro, it had to be at least like 400, 500 people, bro. It was a huge difference. Obviously, like not the same as having 20,000 people,
Yeah.
but like it was like a huge difference from Morehead State to Kentucky. It was wild, which was even cooler.
Yeah, especially you had a top 10 dime in that game, that nice little out of bounds behind the back. I remember watching that, and it was like kind of like one of just the hype plays. And I was like, that's going to be NCAA or ESPN top 10. And then it ended up that night, number one. So
Bro,
that was pretty cool.
I had no idea. Like I was saving it, and like it's something like I do, like messing around, like you're just in the gym messing around, and like it happened, and I was like, I'm gonna try it out, just do it. You know what I mean? I was like, said I'll try it out, and then he was like, and when I watched it, like when I threw it, I was like, dang, that's a pretty good, like it's on the money, and I watched it, I was like, bro, that was a dime.
That was a legit dime. Like I remember like seeing it right as you were still playing. They posted on Twitter, and they were like Jacob Gilyard with the behind the back dime, and I was like, bro, this shit is about to blow up on Twitter. And I just know people were going crazy as far as I saw, like mentions and comments. I checked it out. And not only that, just like you said, he didn't have to go chase after. Like it was in the pocket. And
right there, bro. It was right there. Yeah.
So I think that was a cool moment to experience this past year. And so want to transition into next season. Obviously, for people that don't know, you have a chance to break the all-time steals record in the NCAA. Your current rank is 5th with 358. All-time rank is 385. So that's just a total of 27 steals that you need next season. And with that, you also led your conference, the A10, the last 3 seasons in steals. You led the NCAA in steals this year with 82 total, and you averaged 3.57 steals per game. The next closest to you was 2.85. So with all that being said, what is that feeling going to be like when you break that record next year? And it's not a maybe if you break it. I know you're going to break it. So how is that going to feel? And also, you will technically lead the A10 all time because you were second with your total amount.
So like I kind of like blow it off often. Like I'm just kind of like like it's cool. Like I feel like I've already like stole the ball enough. You know what I mean? But like when the time comes, I think it'll be a really cool moment. It's something that I'm sure people are going to be like, he needed a 5th year to get it. But if you really like look at it,
you only played 21 this year. So if you would have played
like
a full season, you would have had it. Well, especially with your average. I mean, that's only technically 9 games and you played 32 at least in the season. So that's your other 9 right there.
And then games from last year got canceled. I mean, I feel like I would have gotten it anyways. You know what I mean? So for people that'll say that, it'll be whatever. But, to get a record, I mean, like, it's like one of the 5 major categories, like 5 major statistics, bro. Like, I feel like it'll be one that's up there forever, which is really cool. You know what I mean? I feel like steals is something like, obviously buckets, assists, like rebounds. Rebounds. I'm not a huge fan of rebounds, but it's an art, whatever. But like steals is just like, I feel like how I get my steals is just like knowing basketball. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm just picking guys up, just stealing the ball from. Like I feel like it's like actually IQ steals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I think
that's like.
No, go ahead, finish.
So like to me, like that's like IQ steals. Like that's the really good feeling about it. Like I stole the ball so much, like just being smarter than people at basketball. Like that's a really cool feeling.
Yeah, I take it into account, and I know it's from watching the way you play and obviously working out with you, helping you work out. I see, like you said, it's a lot of IQ plays. You're not just picking somebody up and stripping. Like people praised last year, a couple breakdowns that people wrote about you, and I watched them all, was the simple fact that you read it kind of like a safety. Like a lot of your steals come off of reading the defense, knowing where the offense is about to throw the ball, and your anticipation. And I think that's something that you can't really like teach guys. I think you could try to teach it, but obviously you have to have the IQ and the knack for it. And I think that is something that not a lot of people have. And if they watch your game more, I think they realize that. So I definitely am always impressed because it's like you're playing DB and you're just like waiting for the quarterback to throw the ball, and then it's just a pick six down the court. But with that, I think it is going to be a great achievement. Like you said, and not only that, taking pride in defense. A lot of guys don't really do that, and I think that is something you do. Now, you obviously can score the ball, you can throw dimes, but I think defense is one of your main things that people will know you for and should take credit for what, like, at the next level, looking at that. Because size doesn't really matter. I think, with the way you have the heart and the effort you put into the defense. I mean, not everybody can try to be a good defense player, but you have to be willing to sacrifice other things or care about it to be good. And I think you have that. But I definitely I think that, like you said, it's a very impressive category and something that's going to be remembered, I think, for forever. And hopefully nobody breaks that record. So
let's hope not.
And so is that something that you think, besides defense, I guess, what's something that you think you'll take to the next level with you when you make that jump?
We just talked about a little bit of defense, IQ, but kind of just trying to be a leader. I feel like no matter what the role is, professionally playing basketball, whether it's, the last guy on the bench for the NBA or overseas, playing, just being a leader, being somebody who's vocal in the locker room, making sure everybody's on the same page, and just, making winning plays. At the end of the day, you got to impact winning somehow. It's not always going to be about scoring or getting steals or dropping dimes. At the end of the day, you got to find ways to just impact winning. And that's something, I think that's the biggest thing I'm going to take to the next level for sure.
Yeah, I have no doubt with that. And then what's your mindset heading into games? Obviously, we know that, do you have a routine? Do you always just like have a certain mindset you try to get into before you play? Because obviously it's a mentally draining process, getting ready for games weekly, having all the matchups you play, always having to watch film. So how do you kind of like adapt to that?
Like, I've tried everything, bro. Like, I'm super superstitious. Like, if I have a bad game, like, I'm never wearing those shoes again. Like, I'm never listening to a song I was listening to before. Like, like, I hate it. Like, if I have a bad game, it's like something I gotta change something. So, like, I've tried like reading before games, like just not doing anything, reading. I've tried meditating before games. I try a lot of different stuff. I think the biggest thing is just taking warm up seriously. Like, like going in my freshman year, like it was just like, get loose. You know what I mean? Like, you're out there just getting loose, stretching, whatever, shooting. So like this year it was kind of just like, really break a sweat in warm ups, really, really make sure you're ready for the game. I think the games that I was really locked in on were days I had great warm ups. To be honest with you, I think that was a big deal for me. I don't nap. I'm not a pregame napper. A lot of people like to take the naps after a pregame meal. I'm not with that. Mindset going in is just to, give them 40 minutes of hell, realistically. Like, go out there and compete. I feel like towards like the end of last season, like I was just like, yo, go out and try and get a triple double every game. I feel like if you do that, like, we're gonna have a good chance to win every game. So to me, it was just like, go out there, compete, do everything that you can. Everything else will fall into place.
So what's the kick game rotation for next season? I know you busted out a lot of Kobe's this year.
Bro, I'm sick, bro. Going Adidas next year.
Wait, no. You guys are going Adidas?
Adidas next year, man. Which, it'll be whatever, but like, it just throws off everything I've worked for the past 3 years. Everything I've put into this game is just going down the drain, bro.
I know your workout rotation was already crazy, and you tell me we got to drop around for it. I mean, you bust out the Grinches this year. You had a couple Kobe 5 player editions. It was
the KD 4s, like it's just like, bro, Now I gotta wear pro models. Like, what's going on, bro? You know
Donovan
what I mean?
Mitchell, some James Hardens, it's just
Those don't even look good.
no. I think the best model might be the Dames. That might be your best bet all season.
Definitely gonna be some Dames.
That's
I don't know,
crazy.
bro.
I'm upset for you though right now. I'm highly
Soul
upset.
searching, bro.
We literally had talked all season about different kicks for the rotation, and I'm just so upset for you now because we was always talking sometimes pregame kicks what you should rock this week, getting some releases, especially after you cop the Grinches, bro. After we got the Grinch Kobe
You know what I'm
sixes,
saying? Once I got him, I was like, bro, it's a lock. Like set for life. We're set basically, bro. It was Once I found out that, I was like, I was like, at this point, I'm like, bro, I don't even know if I'm coming back. You know what I mean? Like Adidas, come on, bro. But it'll be cool. We'll figure it out for sure.
no, yeah, for sure. I definitely feel that. Just with my job at Sporting, since we were sponsored by Adidas and the MLS, bro, I can't wear nothing. I have to dig and search for shoes to wear to work, and I look at buying more and more and more just because I remember my first week I started, I didn't own any Adidas sneakers. I just had all my Nikes. I wore a pair and they're like, hey, you got to take those off. I'm like, well, I don't have no Adidas. So like, we'll go buy some. I'm like, I just came out of college, bro. I ain't got money just to go buy some Adidas shoes for work. Like, I need you to give me. So then I got in good with the equipment manager, and he just, from time to time, he just hands them out. So I feel like a player back, like you guys at the beginning of the year. I'm like, oh, he's like, hey, here's a box. I'm like, oh, I'll take it. I like it. So, and then it's all right. We get Adidas discounts, but it kind of stinks because they don't allow you to use it on Yeezys or Ultra Boost. So like the two main shoes you rock from Adidas, you just can't get. So fun little topic, real quick, just to ask you. So, who do you model your game after? And then after that, I want you to piggyback. And if you could have your game resemble a rap artist or just a artist in general, who would your game resemble?
Ooh, that second one's gonna be tough. But modeling my game, I feel like for being a smaller guard, you got to take a little bit from every small guard. You know what I mean? I feel like it's hard to just like they're so unique. All small guards are so unique. But like the biggest thing about all of them is toughness. Like you look at Isaiah Thomas, Chris Paul, both Isaiah Thomas is really Chris Paul. I mean, Chris Paul is the Steve Nash. Chris Paul is like the ideal. You know what I mean? The point guard to me. Like,
Oh yeah,
he's guy. But I really really loved Tyler Ulis at Kentucky. Like, loved him. Love how he played. I feel like I kind of play like him, but like just a dog, bro. Just really like him. So I like take away, like you take like Isaiah Thomas's like relentlessness. You know what I mean? Chris Paul's toughness is in his IQ. Like Tyler Lewis's defense. Like you just gotta pick some. You know what I mean? Like pick some from everybody. But like to me, like the ideal like point guard is Chris Paul.
So is Chris Paul your favorite to watch or who?
As he's gotten older, I don't love the way he plays. Like, I'm a huge Steph fan. Like, love how he plays. Love Steph. But like favorite, like bro, like to watch, like just like looking and like admiring basketball, like Damian Lillard. Like, it's not many guys that maneuver off that pick and roll like he does, and just always in attack mode and just always killing. Like, just killing, bro. Like,
not only that, but like I think they say Steph's the best shooter of all time, but I would say Dame's the most lethal at the moment because I feel like he's more consistent. Like Steph's not gonna pull right from the logo every time. Now if he's feeling it, he pulls from the logo. But like Dame, like don't care. Dame could be up 10 or down 3, and he's like, all right, if I feel comfortable right here coming off this pick at the high, like at the logo, I'm just pulling it. And
yeah, I mean like they just play so like different, like kind of the same, and like Steph's really good off the ball, but like when Dame has the ball in his hands and he's coming downhill, it's just like, especially like how high I guess like the Blazers set those ball screens. Like when he's coming downhill and it's a just a him and a big, like, bro, the biggest toast. Like, just watching him is, yeah,
Not only
he's
that, but I think he's got a little bit more explosiveness than Steph. So
yeah,
that benefits him going downhill more because with Steph, you know you're gonna get a crafty finish, but Dame's bouncy enough to rise up over you too with the big if he gets you back downhill.
yeah.
So yeah, I like watching them all. I tell you what though, I was watching Kyrie last night and he hit that 2-hand dunk, man. And I was like, you don't ever dunk in no game, and now you want to show some bounce.
Man, it's crazy because I don't love Kyrie. Like, I feel like he's a little like over top, like always extra, but like just watching like him with the ball, bro, like it's not many players I've like ever seen that are as skilled as him. Like, not many, bro. Like, just a magician, bro.
I just think with him, like it's the continuous combos. Like it's like you think he ran out of a combo move. Like typically, like if you're coming down, you hit a couple combos. If you ain't shaking them or getting what you want, you're gonna kick it over to the next guy.
Right.
He'll just go back again and he'll pull something else that you didn't think he was gonna do, and then it's just there. Like,
Bro, and it's like, it's times like you hit him with a combo and it's like, damn, all right, I'm gonna try to hit him with one more combo, but like if this doesn't work, I'm too tired, so this shot isn't even gonna be like my normal shot. Like I'm tired, it's gonna be rushed. It's like, bro, he could lose the ball and find a way to get you off balance somehow and just pull back. Like, bro, it's just a wizard with the ball.
I'm trying to think of who he had the other night. Oh, Steven Adams last night against the Pelicans. He had him going, bro. I would hate to do it. I mean, I already hate in workouts trying to play you when we do transition drill because I already know my ass is gonna go in circles. But like going up to like him just being like 7-footer and be like, you get switched off on the pick and you're like, oh well, I already know it's gonna be a bucket. Like I could try, but it's gonna be a bucket.
Like he's one of those people I would just be like, bro, I'm not trying. Like, you got it. Just shoot. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those people who would like try and embarrass you. I'm like, bro, you can shoot it. You know what I mean?
just pull up. I'll give you the space.
Bro, just shoot, please. Because if you dribble, I'm going to fall. You know what I mean? Like, that's all it is.
Yeah, and it's just like that thing, like with him, like you said, it's just the magician, man. Like, I honestly don't think, and it's no disrespect to OGCP3 and like John Stockton, all those guys with the handle, but like I think he's got the best handles I've ever seen. Like, undoubtedly, like.
Bro, like it's just like you see like Jamal Crawford's wiggle, right? Like, boom, like he gets you, like, and he'll have these plays where it's like crazy. That's like Kyrie every time he has the ball on the wing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like he's somebody like most people, like we just said, like you hit him with combos, like, and then you'll kick it. Like, he's somebody who will literally dribble the ball for 10 seconds, which is whatever, but like he's like not running out of things. Like, he's gonna get the edge on you somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no, and I think, and that's another thing too that I've seen you work on, but I think you do really well too that a lot of people don't realize. But he does really well that you try to work on is that low bounce dribble, like that carry through underneath. And I definitely think that's a really effective move to swing right below your ankle or below your knees. And so, yeah, he's just amazing, man. It's like you said, sometimes it's hard to like, he is a little bit too much personality off the court and just with like what he brings, but he's always gonna have a highlight. So now on to the next one. I need to know who your game resembles,
So who my game resembles, bro? It's like And it's like I just want to pick an artist I like, but it's like it don't even make sense.
Well, I don't have like an exact artist I could like pinpoint you exactly, but I would say you're very well diverse and like you never know what, like I feel like you know what you're gonna get out of somebody, but then like they always like outdo what you always like feel like you're gonna get from them. So I don't know, I ain't gonna say Drake, but you kind of got the versatility. You can bring out whatever you want. You want to bring out a rap song, you want to bring out an R&B joint,
right?
You need to go quiet and do some acapella
That's okay.
real quick.
The Chris Brown, you know what I mean? People say we look alike too, but we're not gonna talk about that. But you know what I mean? Chris Brown, bro, like versatile, like just does it all. You know what I mean? That's
and smooth, very smooth. Just man.
Of course. You know what I mean?
Dance moves and the vocals. He just be going out crazy. So, and then That's about all I got. Only other thing is for the people. I was just talking about this pre-episode, but go watch Kong versus Godzilla. We need to know who your team is. So since you haven't seen it, I'm already gonna pick mine, but I'm Team Kong. But I want to hear who you picking, even though you haven't seen it yet, because I know you're gonna watch it.
I'm gonna be Team Kong anyways, even if he loses in the joint. Like that's just how I feel like. I gotta be Team Kong. Well, I'm gonna check out the movie. I gotta watch it this weekend for sure.
I was looking at it, and then I just feel like Kong's more resembled of like us. Like Godzilla's kind of like low key like a super powered monster, and Godzilla's just like, or Kong's just like a legit, he's just a gorilla. He's just a basic ass human, like about to go up against like a beast who can like blast some beams out of his damn mouth and radioactive as hell. So it's just like man versus monster, low key. But yeah, so that's all I got for you. Yeah, we'll wait to see you get back to KC. For the people that don't know, I do lock Jacob Gilyard up in his workouts. He just don't want to admit it. Bring that defense.
We'll get the film out here soon, man. We need some.
Okay,
camera.
well,
If somebody's got a camera out there,
we already know. GP next workout, or shout out GP. You got to bring the camera next workout. Set it up. Jacob Gilyard getting locked up. That's what it is. That's just, I'm calling it right now. 1 play, at least one. I ain't gonna say it's all the plays, but we'll get 1 play. Clamps.
my guy, appreciate you having me, bro.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate it. And we will be talking soon.